Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the West-East podcast. My name is Amanda, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Dr. Art. Good morning, Dr. Art.
Good morning, Amy.
Today, we are taking charge of ourselves and applying the wisdom of various topics. Correct?
Perfect.
Perfect. That's about how I feel when I'm in a low space and I read one of these books. Folks, today we're talking about self-help books. So I think we did at least one episode in season 1 about our love of books. I don't know if have we talked about books yet this season? I don't think so. We've talked about movies and comedians.
No. We have mentioned books in Sherlock Holmes, that's it. But we haven't talked in detail.
Yes, correct. So we've referenced books in connection with other types of media. But this will be our first episode about reading. I'm kind of sad. Actually, I guess in the AI episode we talked about in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, I feel a little bit better. But I swear we are avid readers and constantly are talking about books of many types, right? Like we read fiction and nonfiction. But following the theme of this season, I think that self-help books are a good topic to discuss. It goes along with themes of being real, talking about celebrity culture and how artificial the social media space is. I'm trying to think of the best place to begin. They seem to be popular. Maybe we can start here. Why are self-help books popular? Why do you think?
Have you ever think that if you see a book and you see, I'll read this and this is going to change my life, I will be a new person after reading this?
I think every nonfiction I picked up in my teenage years, all the way through my 20s as well. Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah, so that's what we feel, everybody feels when they go for self-help book, and it's their private sacred space when no one can judge them or no one can actually harshly critic them or give them advice or point finger at them. So that's why we all lean towards the self-help book.
Yeah, I think that sets up really nicely. Later in the episode, we can talk about some actions we've taken from self-help books or how to apply them. But the first thing I like to sort of put out there in this episode is that judgment-free space. Do you remember the first self-help book you bought? I don't know if it's
I don't remember.
When I was younger, I just thought of this. That's why this wasn't planned, but I'm just thinking of it, and I'm happy to share.
That's okay.
So I struggled with my weight throughout my childhood. I grew up in a town where most of the girls were dancers and really to me they were all so beautiful, and I played sports, and I was a little bit I felt a little bit I was chubby and clunky. You're insecure no matter what, right? When you're growing up. So I got this book. My mom, I think, got it for me, or we picked it out together. But it was literally titled "Stop Judging Me," and it was for teenagers to try to understand how to have a healthy body image. Not a book that says okay, go diet, and you know what I mean, gives
understand.
It wasn't
give you weight loss tips.
Yes, exactly. And I liked it because I didn't feel judged by the book, but I also got to go right to the heart of the issue. I was healthy. I was an athlete, like I said. You know what I mean? I was high functioning. Sure, I could have lost some weight. I come from an Italian family. We like to eat. But it was more about how I perceived myself, and I learned a bit about why I was being so unkind to myself. And I just thought that was such a brilliant. I'll see if I can find the full title of the book if I can remember it. But it was really nice, nice to be able to read something and do some work to uncover what was beneath the surface, right? And not just focus on, like, I don't know, 30-day diet or something, right? So, some sort of like
Yeah,
quick
yeah.
fix.
It's
Uh,
very interesting way. Like I wish I would have got that book in my teenage.
uh, I was surprised it wasn't more popular, but I guess I also understand when that would be a very unpopular take on the subject, right? Most people don't want to understand why; they just want to, in air quotes, fix it.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah,
We want a quick fix. We all want a
yes,
quick fix. We want a
yeah,
magic or wand, and we want a godmother who will, make us Cinderella.
yes. I feel like you being a doctor would hear that a lot from people, like in a particular setting. In a previous role in the company I work for, when I worked with, like, I was speaking to clients directly, their questions, they always wanted a simple answer, and sometimes it was there, but other times I would say, look, the simple answer is you're not going to like what I have to say. And I'd have to tell them tough news. Is it the case in your time, like with patients, and that they're
Yes,
often
yes,
looking for a quick? I know you can't talk about patients, obviously, but uh,
yes.
uh, so
But
so
it's not only patience. It's like
yeah,
when it comes to us, when we are away from our logical mind and more lean toward our emotional minds, we also become the same.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, humans struggle with change, right?
Yeah.
We
We don't like change
yes, we
because
know
we
we
want to
need it.
conserve energy and we want to survive. That's it.
Yes, exactly. But uh, the intelligent design that is in our makeup also leaves room for us to understand that we need change. So you're constantly in this conflict of, like, the
Yeah.
fight or flight mode, right? Of okay, just surviving, and then that higher intellect that says, no, but change is good. You know what I mean? You should be on a little bit uncomfortable. So what do you, if we start to break down, let's start to break down some like ideas of self-help books, or maybe I can just ask you a personal, like, a opinion first.
Sure.
How, in general, how do you feel about, like, the self-help book industry, or in general self-help books? Is there a type that you gravitate to? Can you tell me a little bit about your experience with self-help books? Maybe we can start there.
So earlier, when I was like struggling with my trauma and I didn't know any better, I would, if you tell me this book is good and it changed my life, I'll go and grab that book.
mm, mm.
And
Influence,
I
yeah,
had like stacks of book, but no change. But I didn't
mm,
understand why. So that is a core mechanism, or it's not the maker's fault, or it's not the industry fault, or it's not the fault of self-help book. It's it's our own. Uh, I say biological drive, or whatever you want to call it, that are more we are more happy with the knowledge because we understand knowledge means change. Like
mm,
we just think that if I have this data, I will change. I'll be a new person. I'll be a changed person. So
yeah.
that's how it runs. But for me, when it actually changed, so many books have changed my life, and like I'm very grateful that I have read them. But when I was going through a very tough time in my life in 2022, I came across a book called Welcome Home by Najwa Zebian. That book gave me, I think that was like a light bulb moment in my life, and I started understanding about myself, about the authentic self, and from there on, dig, and I think action came in the place around that time, and that's why I could see the change and I could use the self-help book better
Yeah.
because I was changing. I was not just collecting data, I was implementing it in action.
Yeah. Ah,
Though I'm
yeah.
not saying today I'm perfect, I have my own flaws, I'm still learning, I'm still evolving, but I am definitely better version than my 2022.
Yeah, I think being committed to the pursuit and the journey is what makes life
Interesting.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's tough. It's tough to go through ups and downs, or to like especially adults are so afraid of that F word, failure. But some of the most beautiful moments actually start with a misstep or falling down and having to like pick yourself back up, and um, or even just, something not going how you thought. That doesn't mean that you quote
Yeah.
failed at it. It just didn't go how you thought it was going to go, and you had to take a different path, or it took a little bit longer. um, I like that.
And
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
sometimes, even though you have read the book, you will not register in your mind the same way. I'm talking
Yes.
about myself, I don't know about everyone else.
I'm the
I
same.
had a book called Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. I had that book, I read that book, but
Mhm.
after 2022, when I reread that book, the whole book registered me like in a different way.
Yeah,
So I think it's your journey, the
yeah.
evolve person, or the developed person you are. The same information, because of the growth, you will register it different, and you will implement it differently.
I agree. I agree. Like, think about, let's say, advice that your parents give you. I'm not talking specifically
Yeah.
about mom and dad. I'm just talking
Yeah,
generally,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I'm
Yeah,
generalized.
yeah, like a parental figure. If you don't have parents in your life,
Teacher, parents, guardians,
yes.
yeah, all of
Yeah.
them.
Or even just a stranger that you see, right? That tells you something or gives you a piece of advice. If you're not ready to receive it, it's hopefully it stays with you until you're ready to understand it. But it will just kind of sit there until it clicks. Like it's not just about the knowledge you're receiving, right? It's the moment that you have to be ready to
You are receiving,
receive.
yeah, right thing at
Yeah.
the right time, kind of, you can
Yes.
say.
Yeah, 100%. That's one of the main reasons why I do love books. It's not just that I enjoy physically holding a book, flipping through the pages. Sometimes I dog ear pages, and I, I'm aware sometimes when I'm reading something, I'm like, oh, that's really good, but I just have this feeling I'm not going to remember it yet. Or like you like the way something sounds, but you don't quite understand it. So I'll bookmark it and I'll go back to it in a month, and a couple months, and see like if I understand anything more from that
That,
segment.
yeah.
Yeah. And
I
yeah.
I have a habit of making notes. So whatever lines I write it in a separate book.
Oh, you take exceptional notes, folks. One day, Dr. Art should put out her own version of like Cole's notes, and you would make a lot of money. I'm just saying, you could, because I have read your notes from various things, including books you've given me, and just like notes that you place on stickies in the book itself. And you have many talents, and one of your talents is your note taking and your ability to like synthesize the information and organize it in a way that I find very accessible. So yeah,
Thank you.
I,
I'm grateful.
100%. And you put pen to paper a lot of times. This is a skill that, oh, I'm going to sound so old when I say this, but for anybody who's like a youngin watching this, just know that if you are in school, you're in college, you're in high school, wherever you're at, try to have a notebook and a pen, because there is actually, like, here we go with data, but it's true. There is data that does show that when you put pen to paper, you will remember something more deeply. So you won't have to
Yes.
cram at the last minute. You'll still probably do it in college. I did too, but you won't have to as much if you're taking notes, putting pen to paper. Um,
Yeah. It gives a physical sensory input and information, and extra,
yes.
like extra strength for the brain to register it.
Yes, and then you can write in any direction. You're not limited, right? You can write your notes. The professor says something, you're like, go back a couple pages and write it in the top corner. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm organized chaos, so I like to live in that setting. Um, I feel like now we're gonna need to do like another episode on, I don't know, school or note taking. But to get back to self help books, uh, you definitely have a lot of experience, and that particular book that you mentioned, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, I started reading. We will do a part 2 to this episode, everybody, and actually do a deeper dive into that book, because there's so many that we could choose. I think a second place choice was The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. I'm not going to say the
Giving
word.
F.
And we've referenced Mark Manson on this before. For me, that book really spoke to me. I've read 150
Yeah.
Secrets of Mental Toughness, and I loved it. I've read a lot of different things, like Jim
Then
Rohn is someone I like to listen to, but that book really spoke to me. Just the pure
yeah.
accountability that he places on us, and the freedom to understand that you only have a limited amount of energy, and focus that energy. So
Even
yeah,
Courage to be Disliked. There are many of books which are very brilliant,
yeah,
which I have compiled. Maybe we can put it in the description section or the
yeah,
comment section later on.
yes,
So
yeah.
it would be helpful for others.
100%. And if you're watching this or listening to this right now, please put some in the comment section too, because I'm always looking for something to read. Awesome. Okay, so we've kind of broken a bit about self help books, and we've talked about why they're so popular. Do you think they're overrated? Like how do we make the most out of a self help book and get value out of it? And how do we decipher? I'm not going to say there's like a good or a bad self help book, but for us there might be, right? So how would you decide if you want to pursue reading something or not, and then how do you get the most out of it when you're reading the book?
Yeah. So first of all, right now what I do is because whenever earlier we didn't have this thing, we had to go physically, we had to look for the books, but now on Amazon or on there are many Kindles and samples are available.
Yeah.
So you go through the sample. If it hits you, then you can later on go and complete the book. Once you buy the book, try to be inconsistently consistent. I'm not saying that stick with the book and read and finish it off in the whole night or whole day, but try to come back to your book, try to come back, make lot of notes, read about it and understand where it hits you, because you are the only one who will understand which book is helping you or not. By experience I'm telling, because there are few books which I read but it doesn't connect with me, so they are not going to help you. You will know, you will connect with the author and you will feel that this is my story, and that's how you will uh, you will start collecting data, as we say.
Yeah.
But only reading the book is not the answer.
Yeah.
Small step what the book is suggesting, halfway after chapter 1, after chapter 2, or after chapter 3, whatever they are saying, start implementing in your life. Even if
Mm-hmm.
you fail, come back to it, because only knowledge will not make a change. Self help, actually I don't like the word help. Earlier I used to
Same.
go crazy about the word help. We have discussed this earlier also.
Yeah.
So help means we are not some victim, or we are not some helpless personas who someone is coming and driving, like taking out of the digging hole. But we need to self empower ourselves with the books which we have. So that empowerment will only comes if you embody the changes and if you do the action. Like for
Yeah.
example, if I give you that there is a book called How to Swim. Everything will be written. You buy this, you buy this, there will be pool, you will be go, you will do hand like this, you will do hand like that. And what if you don't even you just read and intellectualize it, and then directly you go to swimming pool? Do you think that you will start swimming? We need to go
No,
into the
you'll hope
pool,
there's a lifeguard
do
there.
so many failed
Yeah.
attempts, then we will
Yeah.
learn
Yeah.
the swimming. We not only by reading the book.
Yeah.
So that's how the even the self-help book also, every author has their own story, every book is good.
Yeah.
It's which connects to you is best for you. That's what I say, because we
Yeah.
all are unique, as I believe strongly. So every
Mm-hmm.
author's story is genuine. They have their own journey. The journey which connects to you will actually help you, embody those changes. And there is no shame in, failing multiple times. Even I have so many books which I
Yeah.
bought that thinking that, this one will come in my hand and I'll finish it in a week, but
Yeah.
come back to it, redo, once you fail, come back, rise up again.
Yeah.
That is the whole thing. And not only book, even the podcast, even the subscriptions, even the all those everything has a same coping mechanism, because procrastination is our coping mechanism of
Yeah.
not going through those emotional distress or emotional things which we are avoiding. It's not,
Yeah.
we are not lazy, as we discussed earlier as well,
Yeah.
but it is the thing that we need to understand our emotions. We need to accept it. We need to be aware about them and not be scared of our emotions. Our
Yeah.
emotions are actually there to help us, to guide us. They are
Yeah.
just messengers which are telling you that this thing you need to heal. And this thing, no one has until took the therapy, I never understood that. I always used to feel that, why am I sad, why am I this, why am I that. But my
Mm-hmm.
therapist helped me look that sadness is a way of saying that you need to work on that aspects of your life where you are unhealed.
Yes.
And that way, the book which you connect, you read about that, you connect, there will be baby steps you can take in that, from that book, come back to the same chapter, read the same book if you like that book, and you will understand that it will give you the different kind of hit in your brain. Because the more we the more we get evolved, the different lens we have, so we same book we will register it differently.
Yeah. 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 Like we said before, right? You'll receive the knowledge differently. I actually think that that kind of covers everything. Like sets a really good base for self help books. Um, I'm gonna add one thing, and then I'll throw it to you for the final word. Jim Rohn is a name that I mentioned before, and he's somebody. I love the way that he speaks. Like you can, if you just Google his name, folks, or your preferred search engine. I don't want to.
Mm.
I guess it's preferable to say Google when you're on YouTube, but this is a conversation for another day. If you search for Jim Rohn's name and you can find various things that he said, he has a whimsical way of speaking, and so you'll you'll accept his words very sweetly, but when you understand his words, you'll realize that he's helping you face the harder journey. So one of the things that I always say is don't ask for less problems, ask for more skills.
Muscle.
And I really think that kind of like it, that's just one part of a big speech, but it's this speech where he says, if you change, then everything will change for you. And one of the things that he's talking about is most people want less problems, but the problems are what make you stronger. Not to sound cliche, right? Is if you ask for more skills, then you'll welcome every problem, you know what I mean, and see it in a different light, because you'll see what you're building through it, and then you'll be able to take on more, and that is also how we grow, right? People say more money, more problems. That doesn't mean that, if your
That's a
salary goes up.
wrong analogy, actually.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's more like the people, you could argue the people that have more money, right, or who are earning more, let's say, are probably also either doing more or doing something more complex or doing something that is higher stakes for them, because people put a lot of value on money. So they will likely require either more skills or heightened skills in a certain area. It's not to say that that's the case for everybody. It's a failed analogy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you understand. So that was like my takeaway, and kind of my way of summing up this conversation, and how to receive self-help books is look for the skills in it. And it's totally okay to read 3 books at once, not finish one of
Yep.
them, and then
I
come
do
back to
that.
it 6 months
I
later.
do that.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your final word for self-help books? Uh,
So I know what a lot of authors will not like me saying this, but I would say read less and apply more.
Yes, I like that.
And the best self-help book is the one which actually, makes you uh, connect to it and change your habit. And the once you change your habit and there will be a physical behavioral changes in you, then you will actually see the change in your result and change in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, folks, we will be back next week with a part 2 to this episode, and we're going to take our discussion about self-help books and apply it to the monk who sold his Ferrari. So if you're a quick reader and you can get your hands on a copy and you read it before the discussion, great. Otherwise, you can listen to our discussion and decide if it's something you want to read. If you have self-help books that you want to add to our discussion, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you so much for following our journey in season 2 of West-East Podcast so far. Like I said, we'll be back with another episode next week, but for now, we'll say goodbye. Goodbye, Dr. Art. Say goodbye,
Bye.
everybody.
3 for
Bye,
my
everybody.
city, 4 for my city. No, I'm the one who'd go to war for my city. 5 for my city, 6 is my city. Holla at me if y'all vibe with my city. Come try on my city, don't you lie in my city. Symbol of truth, I'll fight for my city.
The West-East Podcast is part of the We campaign, also known as Anti-East Indian Hate Campaign by Vairagya Entertainment. You can weigh in on the conversation in the meantime in our comments section or on our social media. You can also visit www.imshivam.net/w.e. Remember, Vasudev Kutumbakam. We are all one family. Until next time.